Hi, everyone. I'm Ari with Awkwardly Zen. So glad to have you here today. I'm excited to have my co-moderator, Jillian, here helping us out, and then also have the amazing Travis Holp, Travis Warrior Unicorn, on all of the socials. And Travis is going to talk to us today about inspirational mediumship. And I am so thrilled. Travis is a dear friend of mine. I also very much am impressed and have watched him do his mediumship skills live and also here online. And so I'm just so excited that he's sharing that with our Awkwardly Zen family today. So Travis, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to you.
Well, thank you, Ari, for that wonderful intro. And it's so good to be here with you all today. And just to see so many familiar faces and some new ones. So hi. Today is a very special day. Today is the 1-year anniversary where I left my muggle job. And I finally got a real job working as a medium. So full time. So it's great. So today's a very special day for me as well. I love a good full circle moment. So I'm excited to be celebrating this with you guys today. So just to share with you guys a little bit about me before we kind of dive into the meat of inspirational mediumship. So I, like a lot of folks here, when I was very young, I knew I could connect to spirit. I knew that I could connect to things that were going on outside of me, but I thought like everyone could do that. I had no idea that that's not something that everyone does. And so like a lot of folks, when I grew up and I shared these things with my parents, they were immediately like, that's witchcraft. I grew up in Ohio, in a very conservative town. And so of course, it's witchcraft, it's evil, it's the devil. And so, I suppressed that part of myself for a really, really long time. And then it wasn't up until, I would say probably 2015, 2016, some of those gifts would kind of come in and out. I'd play with tarot cards, I'd give readings to friends. But then, when I would drink, oh my goodness, I could connect to a spirit anywhere. You just point me in the direction of a home that had some history to it, and I could connect to everything that happened in that home, right? Like a lot of folks. I quit drinking alcohol 3 years ago and dove into deeper healing. And that's when the fun really began for me. And starting to receive spirit, I never set out with the intention to be a medium. I started with reading tarot cards, and spirit always has other plans for us, as always, right? The tarot was like kind of got me in the door, and then things kind of naturally expanded from there. I remember the first time that I was doing I received mediumship in an evidential way from TikTok live that I was doing. That's where I got my start. My claim to fame is TikTok. And I started with reading tarot readings. But what I didn't realize I was doing was inspirational mediumship by delivering those messages. And so when I was giving a reading to a client, I got a very distinct feeling that I had her Grandpa Buck, and I said his name and shared just some things that had happened with the family during the funeral and all of that. And then next thing you know, I start studying and working with mentors, and I've worked with Lori Hewitt in developing my mediumship, and Charles Cox. So some AZ members I was so lucky to find. And then also studied, I also take a lot of classes at the Arthur Findlay College over in the UK. They offer great Zoom classes that are very affordable if you're looking to expand your mediumship. And then also, of course, Awkwardly Zen has their 2 free channeling courses every single month that I would go to as well. So, I just wanted all of the knowledge that I could on mediumship to be the best medium that I could be. And so today, the intention of our conversation and some of the exercises today is to help us tap into our own mediumship abilities. If you're already a working medium, you're going to love some of these exercises. Some of them might be new, some of them might be familiar. But I think today is going to be a really great day where we all get to kind of expand into the beautiful energy of spirit together and maybe learn a thing or two, but definitely have some fun. So diving into mediumship and what mediumship is, the very basic, and I will preface this with a lot of this is my understanding coupled with my own study, if you have a different belief or way that you like to connect to spirit, I'm all for it. I don't believe that there's any wrong way as long as we're working with integrity. Do no harm, right? Do no harm, take no, the rest of that. So there's different types of mediumship, just like there's different types of psychic work. There's also psycho work, but we're not here to talk about that today. There's different types of psychic work, much like there's different types of ways to read tarot and different cards. Mediumship is a very beautiful spectrum. And so I will not should anyone today, but I will could people today. So I have worked on replacing should with could. It's a little bit more expansive vibrationally. That feels a little bit better. And so if you're a newer medium, or maybe if you're feeling a little bit stuck, or you're just a very experienced medium and you came here to share some energy today is going to be a lot of coulds and a lot of fun ways to look at things. So when it comes to spirit, I look at myself as I'm always the student before I'm ever the teacher. So to teach a little bit today is a very big honor, and I'm very excited and humbled to be doing it, because the more of us that are willing to step into the power of spirit, the more of us there are to help other people and to help people along their evolvement and their growth if they are seeking that. So I think that mediumship is such a beautiful gift. I can speak from personal experience. I have done the most self-work and healing and expansion in the past 3 years, I think, than I've done in a very long time in my journey, because mediumship, it's not something that we can enter into without being fully authentic. When we work with spirit, I think it's some of the most vulnerable work, because it requires us to be fully authentic in that connection. And what I've learned with working with spirit for myself is that any part of my healing that needed my attention, I have been able to really see it, look at it, work through it, and have that awareness, because, the healer has to heal themselves. And I do believe that there's a very healing aspect to mediumship. And some mediums call themselves healers, and I've certainly been called that. But, I don't believe that as healers that we actually heal anyone. I think we just hold a vibration for other people to heal themselves. And so mediumship is a beautiful way, even if you don't do mediumship for others, mediumship is a beautiful study, because it helps you to really understand your energy, your vibration, how to shift your energy for your own soul's evolvement and development. So if you can't tell, I'm very passionate about mediumship and the benefits that it can have, and the type of medium. And there's different types of mediumship, as I was saying earlier. And the type of mediumship that we're going to talk about today is inspired mediumship. Inspired mediumship, it differs a little bit from evidential mediumship. So, and I'll tell you some of the key points of difference. And you can certainly blend the two. I certainly love to blend the two in my readings. Evidential mediumship is a little bit more going for the evidence of the spirit that you're connecting with. So a lot of mediums that work evidentially, think of Teresa Caputo, think of John Edward, think of Tyler Henry. I know these are TV mediums, but I know that these things are kind of zhuzh for TV, but I do believe in the beauty of their practice as well. And there's mediums here in the room that also work evidentially. I know, because I've had readings with them or I've worked with them. And evidential mediumship is very important. Who can tell me why working evidentially, even if we're doing something that's a little bit more inspired, why is working evidentially important, or why can that be beneficial? Who wants to just raise their hand and give me a little snippet as to why working evidentially could be important?
You got Christina and Kat, who both have an answer for that.
Oh, good. I can't see that on my end. So
yeah,
whoever raised their hand
I just made that. Go ahead, Christina.
Well, when you did the reading with me, my husband was listening, and you mentioned sunflowers, which are the only things growing in our garden. And he believes in everything, but he's a skeptic at the same time. I don't know how he does that. Yeah. But then you mentioned our puppy at the end. So he even was like, damn, I like this. And I was like, yeah. So just, and I mean, you mentioned a lot more than that, but not only did it solidify the reading for me, it solidified it for him. So yeah.
As that's beautiful. Thank you so much. As mediums, we're not here to prove anything. We know the work that we do. We believe in the work that we do. But if we can provide a little bit of evidence in a reading, or we can really just show that, hey, we are connecting into spirit and we are blending this energy. Inspirational mediumship can still have pieces of evidence in it, because when we're working inspirationally, we're bringing through those messages of hope, of love, but we can also use inspirational mediumship in other ways, and we'll talk about that as well. So evidential mediumship, it's a little bit more active. So it would be you seeing the medium, them receiving the information from spirit, them coming back to you and saying, hey, I'm getting this. Do you understand this? Person saying yes, no, going back in, connecting with spirit, letting that information come through. So it's a little bit more active. Whereas inspirational mediumship, it's going to be a little bit more passive, meaning there's going to be a little bit more flow. If you see any of my TikToks or Instagrams, that is inspirational mediumship. It's a message that's flowing through where we're not necessarily getting a lot of validation. It's really just sharing the message. So evidential mediumship, a little bit more active. Inspirational mediumship, a little bit more passive. So those are some of the differences. And these are just two ways to work as a medium. And believe it or not, there's more, but I like to blend these two together. Today, we're just going to talk about the inspirational piece, though, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a snippet of the evidential side just for some context. So the purpose of inspirational mediumship is to uplift. It is to share those messages with others that need that hope, that are looking for that clarity. And you're receiving this information from spirit. It might be their loved one, but we can work inspirationally in other ways. It might be angels. It might be guides. It might be Esther Hicks is a great example of inspirational mediumship. She works with Abraham. So there's different ways to work inspirationally. Evidentially, you are really just working with the loved ones directly. Inspirational kind of helps us open up a little bit. And if you're just starting on your mediumship journey, inspirational mediumship is a beautiful way to start because it's a little bit more broad. And so inspirational mediumship can also be used in channeling, writing books, giving talks or lectures, talking in front of groups. There's so many different ways that we can work inspirationally. Even in readings, we can read inspirationally. I like to think of, in tarot, I like to think of oracle cards as a good way to open up inspirational mediumship. Because if you're looking at an oracle card, you'll see one or two words, right? But then you're really feeling into, okay, what does this mean for this person in front of me? And that's how it can be evidential in that sense, where it's maybe your word is, you get an oracle card, it says abundance, and you just get a feeling about the person. You're blocking off your abundance. Maybe you're struggling through your abundance mindset, or there's some things to tweak. That's how we can kind of work a little evidentially in that sense. But really, the intention of inspirational mediumship is upliftment. It is to leave someone feeling at peace, at ease, and for them to help, and also for them to receive that higher vibrational frequency that you're emitting, and allowing that to help them expand or feel better in that time. How many of you have done reading? Just do a quick little hand raise with your actual hand. How many of you do readings and then after you're done with the reading, someone's like, oh my gosh, I just feel so much better after talking to you? Yes, you're raising that vibration, feeling the power of spirit, allowing it to inspire your words and sharing it, whether it's coming from their guides, their angels, or even their loved ones. Or maybe it's coming from your guides or an entity or group of energies that you channel, that you work with. Here's what I love. There's no right or wrong here. It's whatever feels the best. It's whatever kind of gets you in the receiving mode of receiving that information. Inspirational mediumship is also a beautiful way to practice allowing. I go to a lot of Zen Zooms, and it's always my favorite topic when we talk about allowing. It's one of my most favorite topics because in inspirational mediumship, we have to allow. We have to be in a passive receptive state. And that's when we have that flow that's coming. Fun fact, I asked my guides to put me in a passive receptive state and channel a lot of this class. So there's a couple of different ways that we can go about getting in that receptive state. We're going to do an activity in just a moment, but I'm going to talk about just some of the actual mechanics of getting in that state. So our brain obviously operates in brain waves. So when we are in our normal waking state, we're going to the grocery, we're doing the laundry, we're very active, our brain waves are going to be in what's called beta. It's an awake, alert state. To get into more of a passive mode, we're going to go into alpha, which is a little bit of a slower brainwave state. It's more relaxed. How many of you, you can just do this with your actual hand, how many of you are just kind of driving, maybe not paying attention? I won't tell your insurance companies, it's fine. Maybe not paying attention, or just you are, but you're just kind of relaxed, you're listening to your favorite music, or you're at the grocery store, you're folding laundry, you're doing something that has you just kind of relaxed, and you get an amazing idea, or an idea that just feels so good. Congratulations, you're receiving a download or a knowing or a message because your brainwaves are in what's called the alpha brainwave state. Our brainwaves go a little bit deeper. They go into theta and delta, and that's in our sleeping state, but that's really neither here nor there for today's conversation. We're really just focusing on the beta, or on the alpha brainwave state. Who can give me an idea of how we get our brainwaves to slow down and get into the alpha state? Whoever raises their hand first. I can't see the hand raises.
I am looking right now. Elizabeth. She's trying to find her on mute.
That's okay.
Oh,
Nope. That's okay. Someone said it in the chat and I love it. So I'll just see what's popping up in the chat. Oh, Sophia, go ahead.
Hold on. There we go.
Yeah.
I think one good example could be if you're going for a long walk outdoors. Sometimes like you just get a bunch of ideas that you never would have thought of if you're really caught up in the busyness of life.
Beautiful. I love that so much. Elizabeth, coming back for round 2.
Sorry. Yin yoga. When I do yin, holy moly, it's like boom, 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 boom.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love that. So going for a walk, yoga, meditation, which is what we're going to do today. It's going to be really fun, and you're going to love this meditation because we're going to do 2, and they're so good. I'm so excited. Listening to music. I will tell you the quickest way to get into an alpha state as well is sometimes just taking a couple of really nice, big, deep breaths just to slow yourself down. I don't know if anyone just saw the orb fly by me, but one just flew by me. So they agreed. They're like meditation and deep breaths. That's my guides just saying we agree. So let's go ahead and talk about a meditation that a lot of mediums use in their practice. And it's called sitting in the power. Sitting in the power is a meditation that is used by a lot of mediums in their development and their expansion. You do not have to be a medium to practice sitting in the power. What sitting in the power is going to do for you, it's going to help center you. It's going to help you focus on expanding your energy and then blending it with the energy of spirit. Because when we are doing inspired mediumship or inspirational mediumship, we are blending our energy with the energy of spirit, so that way we can be in that full receiving mode. Now, if you're newer, no, this is not letting spirit enter your physical body and take over you. That's not what we're doing today. Are there people who practice that? Yes. Is that what we're practicing today? Absolutely not. That's not what this is. Are we Are we possessed? No, we're not getting possessed either. I'm so sorry to break that news for you. So anyone can just hang up the phone to the Vatican calling in for the exorcism a little bit early. We won't need it. We are simply just going to focus on expanding our energy, sitting in the presence of spirit and blending our energy with spirit. Spirit is not going to enter your physical body. So I just need to preface that before we get started, because there's sometimes that one person who thinks that's what it is, and that's okay, because the movies have done us a very big disservice when it comes to mediumship. And we just want to dispel any rumors or misknowings or misunderstandings before we get started. So we are going to go ahead and do a sitting in the power meditation. This can, you are welcome to turn your cameras off or leave them on. Either way, just go ahead and get nice and cozy. And then I'm going to share, I'm going to do some audio with this because I love a little bit of music when I meditate personally. Doing a sitting in the power meditation, the more you do this exercise, the easier it's going to be for you to really focus your energy. Mediumship does require a bit of focus. And so meditation helps us to kind of calm the monkey mind, as it's called, right? That just kind of runs around. And I will share why this is so important, because I like to think of it this way. As a medium, we are using not only our mind, but our physical body. And so when we can learn how to calm our nervous system, it makes us such better receivers, and we receive with such clarity. Some might be well-practiced meditators. Some today might not be, and that's okay. Just be where you are. Do not worry about getting it perfect. This is a feeling meditation. This is not necessarily a thinking meditation, all right? So let's go ahead and everyone just get nice and cozy. And I'm going to start the music. Let's start it over. Okay, perfect. So everyone, there's a good balance of music and voice, Ari. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so go ahead and just soften your gaze. Gently close your eyes. Just let's start with some nice deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let's do that one more time. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Very good, very good. As you breathe, envision a deflated balloon down where your root chakra would be. So right down in the pelvis. Very good. And as you breathe in, imagine that you are inflating this balloon. And as you breathe out, you're deflating the balloon. Nice big deep breath. Breathe deep into your root chakra. And breathe out. Let's do that with the balloon one more time. Breathe in and inflate that balloon in your root. Breathe out, deflate the balloon. Very good. Very, very good. Just maintain this style of breathing. This is your natural rhythm of breathing. And now envision or feel a beautiful soft light glowing from your solar plexus, which is right above the navel and right below the heart. Feel this light in your solar plexus. Just feel it gently expanding with each breath, filling your body. And take a moment here just to feel this light fill your body and slowly expand out of your physical body. Feel that light expand out from your fingers, from your arms, from your chest, from your head. Just gently feel this light expand. This is your light of your personal power. Just feel this light expand out beyond your physical body. Filling the room that you're in. See if you can feel the walls of the room with this light. Feel that light expand. Allow this light to gently expand even further out. Let the light expand gently. Don't force it. Don't push it. You can only feel it expand just a little bit. That's all right. See how far you can feel this light expand. Hold your focus on expanding this light, just feeling it. And off in the distance, notice another brighter light. You can feel this light. You can feel the brightness and the warmth. This is the light of the universe. This is the light of spirit. And as you breathe, allow this to be an invitation for the light of spirit to blend with your light. Breathe deep and allow this light to blend with your light, intensifying your light. And as you breathe into the body, feeling this light blend with your light. And allow the vibration of gratitude and appreciation to fill you. So important that we feel gratitude in this moment, our connection to the universe, to spirit. Just hold this just for a few more moments and breathe. Now we are going to maintain the connection, but what we're going to do is just allow our vibration just to settle to a place that feels comfortable for us. Knowing that you are connected to Great Spirit. When you are ready, go ahead and just gently wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and come back to the room. Very good. So come on back. And again, maintain that connection, because we're still going to be using it today, or working with it, I should say. Would anyone like to share their experience with their meditation? I will say this meditation typically is a little bit longer, but for the sake of time and exercise today, we shortened it just a bit. But who would like to share their experience or anything that they happen to notice? And Ari, I'll let you just pop
I'm
them in.
watching right now, waiting to see. All right, we got Christina.
Yeah.
So I do love meditation. I love it. In the last couple of months, I've been able to feel this huge light, but as I connected to the universal light, because that huge light almost feels too much.
Yeah.
So as I was connecting, then I felt like an ease of being able to, like, it's not bursting out of me. It's like a natural, I think you even said, so don't push it, because I was, and you said be natural, and I was like, oh yes, be natural, be natural. And then it kind of started blending, and my color was yellow and the universe's was blue, so mine kind of turned green as they were like,
I love that.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. Yeah, mediumship is not something that can be forced, and so that's why it's so important focusing on learning how to calm the nervous system, meditation, because, you know, I'll do sessions and I will try to force something. And that's always when I get in my own way. That's always when I fumble or I misinterpret a piece of information. I'm still connected. It's really just me that's trying to force the connection. So I love that share. Thank you so much.
Travis, I'm going to go ahead and jump to Mary, Elizabeth, and Sophia, just because we haven't heard from Mary yet today. So if you guys wouldn't mind, would you put your thoughts over in the chat, just because I think timeline-wise, we're going to go into the next thing. Am I right on that, Travis?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Not to control everything, but let me control everything. All right, here's Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Travis. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, that meditation is really powerful. I was experiencing colors, purples, then pinks, then gold. And I actually had to stop myself because I started to journey.
Okay.
I had to come back. Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you for staying with us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
The practicing of the sitting in the power can be extremely beneficial, because when we're working mediumistically, this can also be done if you're working psychically as well, or in other ways. This will just help you focus on strengthening that connection with source, and or with spirit or the universe, whatever word you would like to use there. I like spirit and the universe personally. So very good. So it's important that we practice meditation or calming our nervous system, because like I said, when we're in that receptive state, however you like to do it, meditation is one way. There are multiple ways. Meditation is what works for me. These exercises are what works for me. It's okay if you like to connect in just a different way. These are just ways that you could connect, not should connect. So we're going to go ahead and get into our next exercise. So we have guides for almost everything. So who is familiar with working with guides? Just a quick little raise of the hand. Perfect. Did you know we have guides for mediumship that can help us with our mediumship? So today we have guides for healing. We have all kinds of guides. So today we are going to work with our guides of mediumship, and we're going to meet one of those guides. So today in this exercise, you might meet a guide that you are already familiar with. You might meet a new one. When the first time I did this exercise, I actually met a whole new guide that I work with now specifically for mediumship. So let's go ahead and get back into our nice meditative state. go ahead and gently close your eyes. Again, you can leave your cameras on, turn them off. Again, during this exercise, let's just allow whatever comes up, comes up. Don't force it. Don't try to make anything. We are going to use some visualization, but I'm going to keep the visualization broad so that way you can fill in the gaps with whatever feels best for you. So let's go ahead and get started. And let's do this. Before we start this practice, let's set an intention. I love setting an intention before I meditate because it helps my brain kind of get on board with what I'm doing. And for me, I'll set intentions I'll say it 3 times because our brain actually needs to hear something 3 times before it jumps on board. So if you're a person who needs information repeated, don't feel bad about it. Your brain just needed a little bit more to take what was going to happen next. So let's all just take a nice deep breath and then set the intention for, in this moment, I'm here to connect to my guide of mediumship. And let's just say that in our minds 3 times. In this moment, I'm here to connect with my guides of mediumship. In this moment, I'm here to connect with guides of mediumship. And go ahead and breathe. Gently close your eyes. Just a few nice deep breaths just to slow those brain waves down again. You are in a clearing. It's a beautiful day. The sun is gently shining. And there's a gentle breeze. As you're in this space, you might notice that some of your guides that you are familiar with are walking with you. Or you might notice that you're walking alone or with your higher self. And as you walk, you come to a door, just a door in the middle of a clearing. You approach this door, eager and excited to see what is on the other side. Turn the doorknob and open the door. As you step through the doorway, you have been transported into the middle of a beautiful wooded forest. And directly ahead of you in this wooded forest is a small cabin or cottage. There's a gentle light glowing from the inside of this cottage or cabin. And leading up to it are 7 steps. We are going to walk up those steps together. As you take the first step and you breathe in the color red. Walk up the second step, breathe in the color orange. Walk up the third step, breathe in the color yellow. Walk up the fourth step, breathe in the color green. Walk up the fifth step, breathe in the color blue. Walk up the sixth step, breathe in the color purple. And walk up the 7th and final step, breathing in white. You notice that this cabin has no door and you are able to walk in. This cabin is filled with books and knowledge and wisdom. And in the center of this cabin is a desk. And behind the desk is your guide of mediumship. This guide stands to greet you. Take a few moments to set your intention with this guide that you would like to work with them on expanding your mediumship. This guide is here to help you and support you anytime you call on them. And when you are ready, go ahead and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and come back to the room. Right. Welcome back. Would anyone like to share?
I'm going to unmute myself and then I'm going to go to iPhone. I'm going to ask her to unmute first. I don't have her name. Hold on one second.
Hi, can you hear me?
Barely. Go ahead and let's see if we can.
I'm Christine. Hello, everyone.
Unfortunately, my dear, we can't hear you. Can you get your face maybe closer to the microphone?
Okay, can you hear me better now?
No,
Hello?
unfortunately, we cannot. If you'd put it over in the chat, I'd appreciate that. Sorry about that.
Okay. That's okay.
Sound is such a hard thing. Okay, hold on one second. We're going to go to Elizabeth here.
Travis, if you did an event just on that meditation, I would be floored. I just love that. Thank you so much. And I will say that I used sign language to communicate with the guy behind the desk. And it was very moving for me. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm on mute. That's beautiful. I love that so much. Thank you. That's
Okay.
beautiful.
And then we have
Lauren,
one more
speak.
with Lauren.
Yeah.
And Lauren, I can't spotlight because she doesn't have her camera on, but that's okay. So we'll just
That's okay.
ask her to share. Go ahead, Lauren. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, that's okay. This is going to sound really weird.
Try me.
Okay. A long time ago, I'm 48, so let's say like 30 years ago or so, there was a movie out about Amadeus.
Mhm.
So in this meditation, I have the picture of this actor playing the character Amadeus. And the song that came out that was popular at the time was called Rock Me Amadeus. And the song is just playing over and over again in my head. And this is who I met during the meditation.
I love it. I love it so much. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I love that. And then Sophia.
Okay. So yep, there we go. Put your camera on. I can add a spotlight if your camera's on. There we go.
I also had a really weird experience. Once we got through the rainbow steps and into the house, I suddenly had like a image flashing in my head, zoomed in really closely to a snail that was in Hawaii, and like I could almost like feel the like slimy texture of the snail, and then like I felt like I like had spun around the room, and then I was like face down into sand. It was so weird, but like really cool.
I love that. So your cabin took you to a beach. I love that so much. There's no right or wrong with if you walk through the cabin and all of a sudden that cabin is like a mansion on the inside. Amazing. If you walk into the cabin and that cabin has actually transported you somewhere else, like with Sophia, that's great too. Remember, we're not here to really push or try to make it something that it's not. We simply just want this exercise just to be. So well done, everyone. Beautiful work.
Travis, can I just real quick, just because I love to talk about all sides of this, if someone didn't see anything during that, can you give a few tips on that? Just
Yeah.
because I know that's a hard thing when you're
Absolutely. So not everyone has the ability. I actually just learned this. Not everyone can actually get visual pictures in their mind. And there is nothing wrong with you. That's literally just the brain. So what I would say is if you're meditating and you're doing exercises like this, feel your way through it. You can almost like imagine yourself like if you were, no eyesight, your eyes are closed. Just imagine what it might feel like to move through it. Use a little bit more of your feeling sensations in your body. Not everyone can visualize, and that's okay. Not everyone can also visualize literally. That's also fine. There's no real way. It's funny, right? Because that's the only thing that we can't really kind of share what our experience is because someone else can't experience what you're experiencing or hear what you're hearing. So that's all right. I would say in these circumstances or with these types of meditations, just focusing the feeling of it. Beautiful. So now we're going to do an exercise, which I'm really excited about. This is going to be more of a inspirational writing exercise. And I'm going to give everyone a word. And now that you've connected to your guide of mediumship, and maybe this is your guide, maybe it's angels, maybe you met a loved one in that room, whoever you connected with in that room, you're going to take just a couple of moments, allow their energy to blend with yours. And then the word that we're going to use that is going to be the inspirational word for this exercise we're going to practice is abundance. And here's what I would like for you to do. Ask your guide of mediumship to give you a message that you're going to write that is a collective message for all to hear. Sound good? So let's set the intention before we sit down to write abundance. So we're going to set the intention. We're going to do it 3 times. I would please help me channel a message about abundance. Please help me channel a message about abundance. Please help me channel a message about abundance. And then just write. Don't judge what you're writing, just write it. And you'll have a couple minutes to complete this, and I'll sit here and stare lovingly at all of you. And if you get lost, if you get sidetracked, just big deep breath and just envision that energy blending with yours again. Or take yourself mentally back to the cabin, whatever feels best for you. And I will play some music. Just wanted to gently say we're going to spend about 1 to 2 more minutes with our message. So go ahead and ask your guide to help you get to a nice wrapping up point. I know we could easily probably write pages and pages about this. Little less than 1 minute. And once you're done, oh, good. I see we have some people wanting to share. Hold your shares just for a minute. We're going to get a chance to share. I promise you. I know I see the excitement. I can see it. I do love that share though, Ray. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. We got some people ready to share. I love this. This is so exciting. Okay, everyone, let's go ahead and just take a nice big deep breath. Come on back. Let's just let our vibrations settle a little bit. So just big deep breath. I know that we get very excited when I get very excited when I'm connecting to spirit. And so just to help settle your vibration a bit, just a nice big deep breath in and breathe out. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and let's take a couple of shares. Share as in share, not share as in the singer, although I love share. So let's go ahead and take some shares. Christina, what beautiful message did you channel for us today?
I'm still like way up here.
Yeah, take it. Here, do this for me, Christina. Here's what I want you to do. Just scoop your hand and just say your name 3 times. Christina, Christina, Christina. That'll bring you right back down into your body. Very good. Feels better?
A little bit, yeah.
That feels better. Yeah, I can feel that too.
Also,
go ahead.
My guide is just like so happy.
Yeah, they're like, thanks for calling.
yeah. I'm not sure if they're Aborigines, but that's like what I got from them. So the first thing I saw, I have aphantasia, so it definitely is a feeling. But the first thing I saw was like hands digging in the dirt, oh my gosh, it's so much lovingly thanking the earth for giving our life sustenance. There's abundance everywhere. The sun is shining on our faces, the buzzing of bees, the wind in the sky, see the universe rotating. Cycles are ever changing, but abundance is always there. If you open your eyes and look around you,
it's beautiful. That's so beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Christina.
Travis, how many people do you want to share this time around?
If we can keep the shares brief, I think with what we've got, and then whatever's in, and if anybody wants to pop theirs in the chat, that'd be great too. But let's take the 3 hands that we have raised, because I still want to be able to get us through a closing down exercise. So that way nobody is exhausted after this, and then take any questions that people might have.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Mary. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I thought I was not going to stop writing, but I channeled a message. We are abundant, all of us. If you are breathing, you are abundant. Ooh. Everything is provided for you. Mother Earth nurtures you with colorful nature of every hue, with the companionship and entertainment of all the life she provides, along with nourishment and medicinal plants. Father God provides safety and comfort with the beautiful white light energy. If you ever doubt that you are abundant, open your eyes and behold all that is before you.
Oh, I love that. I felt that. Thank you so much. It's gorgeous. Elizabeth.
Thank you for letting me share. I'm very excited. I wrote,
Yeah.
fish glow beneath baskets in the sand. Their scales shimmer like rainbows. Don't look up. Hands travel through life, signing the way to futility and love. Charm, essence, love. Behold ourselves to our true nature. See me, see them.
Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Oh, very good. Hi, Craig.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I wrote, abundance is a choice and right. We have the guidance to create and release and manifest the path in which we desire. The choice is yours to decide. The lesson, living in lack is an uncomfortable stage to encourage you to make the change and create the abundance, which is available to all humanity. Abundance, suffering, and joy is your path. Is your path only if you ask and only if you choose.
Oh, I love that so much. Thank you for sharing that, Craig. So, and then there are a couple in the chat that I really love that I just want to read out loud. So, Ari, I loved yours. You are already more abundant than you can ever imagine. It is okay to have and want more, but the ease of it coming and increases grows with the level of gratitude you hold yourself in. That's incredible. That's incredible. From Ellen, abundance means love and caring. Don't think and just do. Let things flow without your expectations mean abundance. Move and change mean abundance. Activate your life. Ooh, I feel charged by that. That was good. So a lot of really good things. Robin, abundance is already yours. Step into the middle space between work and play, the nothing space, then open your eyes. You are surrounded by the gifts of the universe. Anything you want is yours for the taking. Katie, run into the outstretched arms of love. I love that so much too. So these were some really beautiful messages that came through. I want to point out some nuances with inspired mediumship. You'll notice some common threads here that I just want to point out. Do any of these threads have judgment in them? Do any of them have fear? Do any of them involve paying attention to other people? No. Are all of these messages heart-centered? Yes. Are they all kind and loving? Yes. There is no should in any of these. Ari's going to love that. There's no should in any of these messages. Because we know should is a judgmental word, right? There's no words of judgment. There's no words of harm. There's no words of telling you that you could be better than you already are. It's a reminder to step into all that you are. That's what inspired mediumship really is. And you all tapped into the essence. I'm just so proud of all of you today. You all tapped into the essence of really the intention of inspired mediumship, which is to uplift, to share the universal oneness that we all have, that we are all entitled to, that we are all not entitled to, but we are all just abundant. Interesting enough, did any of these messages about abundance, when you hear abundance, who thinks of money first when they hear abundance? Who goes to the financial aspect of abundance first? Sometimes. Did any of these messages mention money? Not a one. Interesting. Interesting. So as you do these, whether you do these for other people, whether you do them for yourselves, a really good way to check, okay, was this spirit or was this my ego, right? Because sometimes that's a question. Some spirit, loving, kind, high vibrational, doesn't mean it's not going to have some, here's where we can shift or change, some honesty, right? Because spirit is also very honest. Spirit is incredibly honest. But it always feels good. It always feels good. Kathy, I used to think abundance meant money. Now I know so much more than that. Yes, absolutely it is. It's abundance is simply just an overflow. So as we teach mediumship, I also want to walk you all through a closing down process that we're all going to do together. It's going to be very quick, but it's important. We've opened a door. Now we need to close the door. So that way we can all go about our days and enjoy our days with energy and excitement and feeling fun. You're still going to hang on to that essence of spirit, but we're going to go ahead and close off our energy from receiving for now. Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to share the audio again. Oh, did I stop sharing? Okay, I'm sharing now. Perfect. Let's go ahead and just gently close your eyes. You're back inside the cabin. Give gratitude to your guide for meeting today, and know that you can call on this guide anytime you wish to help you connect to spirit, to help you to connect to loved ones or angels. This guide is here support for you. Thank them for their time and thank them for the beautiful gift of receiving. Let's go ahead and walk out the doorway. And as we walk out the doorway, walk down the first step and breathe in the color white. Walk down the next step. Breathe in the color purple. Walk down the next step. Breathe in the color blue. Walk down the next step. Breathe in the color green. Walk down the next step. Breathe in the color yellow. Walk down the next step. Breathe in the color orange. Walk down, feet planted firmly on the ground. Next step, breathe in the color red. You see the same doorway in the forest. Walk through that door and close it behind you. And when you are ready, return back to the room. Very good. I can't stress enough the importance of shutting down after connecting, because Lord, you might go to Starbucks or the grocery store, just be receiving all things. And listen, I don't know about you guys. I love receiving from spirit. I love being in the flow with spirit, but it's important to disconnect, right? Because we got lives. We got lives outside of spirit, and spirit knows that. So we've got some time. And at this time, I would just like to take any questions that you guys have about inspirational mediumship or mediumship in general that I can answer today.
So Travis, while people are thinking of their questions, and you guys can put that over in the chat and I'll read them out loud, or Travis will see them, or you can raise your hand. And if you are private and you want to ask a question without being the center of attention, that's totally okay. Just private message me the question. So Travis, if somebody came here today because they really want to work on the connection with past loved ones,
Yes.
What would be the first steps that you would say for taking it more focused on those people who have passed to the other side?
The exact same startup practice. That startup practice is going. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to do the cabin in the woods exercise every time, because we've already kind of unlocked that for you. I would say though, sitting in the power and sitting in the power consistently, or focusing on slowing those brain waves. Something that I like to do, I'll share just something that works really well for me with clients. When I am working with a client, or I'm in a group setting, I just imagine, because when we're doing mediumship, we're not connecting in with the client's energy. We're connecting in with spirit. And if you do mediumship and you're connecting in with the client and you feel really, really, really tired afterwards, that's why. So connecting in with spirit, I just say, who wants to come forward? And then I just start feeling their essence. So I'm not necessarily, so in this exercise, right, we blended with, we would do sitting in the power, and then we would call forward our guide of mediumship to help us receive. You can do the cabin in the woods exercise if you want to. You do not have to. It is good practice though, but just asking those energies to come from, I envision them just coming up from behind and just kind of, okay, who would like to share a message? And then I leave it up to be in the receiving mode. At that point, I very seldomly will I try to zero in on someone specific. I find it has a little bit more flow if we just ask who would like to come forward and share a message, and then start just sensing on what they're telling you. I like to think of it when I'm with a loved one, I envision myself as they've come forward and I've built up a little bit of a connection. I just imagine myself asking them questions, or I'm just sitting in a chair, they're sitting across from me, kind of like getting to know someone or getting to know someone with coffee, right? Like, oh my gosh, I love you. I think you're great. Let's talk a little bit more about your life. Let's do, so it's not formal. I'm like, hey girl, what, how'd you die? So it is very much just me, because again, authenticity is very important. So that's one way that I like to do it. So
awesome. And before we go into other questions, someone asked me privately how to book with you. So I just put your snip feed over in the chat. So you can book with Travis in lots of different ways there. You can also, if you find Travis and follow him on any of the socials, he's got a snip feed. He's so good, you guys, at actually getting you to where you need to go. So yay for Travis. So that is there. Okay. Next question we have is a private one. How would you recommend connecting to your inner child?
So a little bit of different work. I would recommend, if it's accessible to you, with a therapist or a practitioner that is experienced with connecting to inner child work. If it's accessible, I understand that sometimes these things like classes, books, things like that, it's not accessible. Meditation is always accessible though. It's free. You can do it anywhere at any time. I would say meditation, and envision yourself meeting with that aspect of yourself. If you're doing it alone, which I have to tell you, just to keep everyone safe, I don't recommend. But if you feel like you're experienced, you want to do that, you want to sit with your inner child, and you would like to do it by yourself, just gently, you can do an experience where you meet them in a memory, you meet them in a neutral space like a field. There's a lot of different ways, and just meet with that aspect of yourself. And again, just see what flows, see what comes out.
Wow. Thank you, Travis, for that. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and pin Christina. Christina, you can ask your question there.
Actually, I have two really quick. So, so I get overwhelmed, and I love it. And it's just so like you feel the love of the universe. Plus my guide was a cheerleader. Like, I love that. But how do we look, even talking about it, I'm already like, how can we?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I mean, if you find yourself kind of naturally expanding, I would let it naturally expand.
Okay.
If you're trying to, give me a little bit more. Are you just overwhelmed? Are you excited? What about this expansion is making you say, hey, I think I would like to contain this just a little bit?
Only because, like, if I ever give readings, which I would love to, like, I'm sitting here like crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I think like anything, we kind of have to experience it as it is. And as long as you're not feeling, I would say if you're feeling drained, tired, or getting sick a lot after you connect, perfect. And then if those aren't concerns, right, then I would say just let it expand, let it be. Eventually you're going to, I don't want to say desensitized, because you'll always be in wonder, but eventually like controlling the tears and all of that. But maybe that just needs to be a part of your process right now. Like if you are moved when connecting with spirit to where you are having an emotional reaction, that's energy that needs to move. You need to let that move.
Me and emotions are still kind of getting to know each other. So
It's okay. The most growth, I'm telling you, the most growth that I've had has come from connecting in with mediumship and spirit. And I still do therapy and do the self-work, but a lot of the growth that I've had has come from that connection to spirit.
I love that. And I think also, this isn't a question, but when I meditate, it is a smaller version of that.
Yeah.
So I think I'm
That's all right. You
And
just need to get, here's the thing with the, and this is why sitting in the power is such a powerful exercise, because we can understand just our energy. It helps us to understand our energy so beautifully. So that way we know, right? Like, okay, when I connect in, my energy is very expansive. And the more you practice that, Christina, and practice sitting in that, if that's an exercise that feels good for you, which I suspect it is,
yeah,
that's just going to help you just understand your energy.
I love that.
better.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what was my second question? I'm so glad I wrote it down. Overwhelmed. I felt something in that very first clearing. Like huge wind. I am from Florida, so I'm used to like hurricanes and stuff. Like this was like a circling I think it was my grandmother. I saw a circle at her funeral. I saw leaves that I want to paint that were kind of in a tornado spiral.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to paint that. I think she was just saying hi. Is that?
Love that. That is very common. Yes. When we are getting our brain in the alpha wave state, because that's our receptive state. That's where we receive. We receive this way through mediumistic ability, but also manifestation. This is also the brainwave from which we get into the receiving mode and allow.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one and the same. That's why I say mediums are such good manifestors, because we really understand energy. And so I don't know why I'm Italian all of a sudden, but Cabazzo. So I would say just allow that. If you have a loved one that pops in, amazing. Hi, great to see you. Love that you're here. And then continue the exercise.
Oh God, this is only the second time I've been with you, and I love so much.
I love you right back. Thank you.
All right, next, let me get to my view so I can actually see everyone. So many buttons. Next is Christine, and now I just have to find her. Where did you go, Christine? Oh, there we go. Hey, there she is. Okay, let me add the spotlight. Let me ask her to unmute. Phew, I've pushed all the buttons.
Hi,
Now
Christine. I can hear you now. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, is there a difference between mediumship and channeling?
That's a really good question. And I'm going to be honest, it depends on who you ask.
Okay.
So let me give you the textbook, and then I'll give you just my view. How's that? Are we good with that?
Sure.
Because there's no right or wrong here, okay? So if you study at schools like the Arthur Findlay College or read certain books, some medium, and it's very split. I have to be honest, like it's a big split here on opinion. So some people are going to tell you that channeling is a little bit different than mediumship. Channeling would be what you would see someone like an Esther Hicks or a who's the other person, Bashar, where it's that flow of consciousness that's just coming through and they're blending with spirit, and there's no active mediumship that's happening. So it would be more passive, where they're just in a constant state of receiving and the messages are coming through would be the technical definition on some people's definitions of channeling. Some people are going to tell you that mediumship is just connecting to loved ones in spirit. Some practitioners are going to tell you it's loved ones in spirit, angels, guides. It really depends on who you ask and what you're getting at. My personal opinion, just my opinion, the words can be used interchangeably. I think if we're receiving a message, whether it's coming from guides, loved ones, and it's not necessarily that back and forth with the evidence, but it is a received message that we're sharing, to me, that is channeling. Even if that message is psychic received, it's still channeling information. Like it's semantics at this point, right? It's whatever feels best for you. And I like to share both because I like people to kind of explore on their own and what feels best for them. For me, one and the same. Channeling as an art or a practice is allowing the spirit to move through your energetic field in your body. Channeling in terms of just a broad message, I've got a channeled message for you, whether that's coming from guides, whether that's coming from angels, whether that's coming from loved ones, whether it's coming from reading cards, and I've got this message coming through, one and the same to me, to be honest. I think focusing on the quality of the work is so much more important than focusing on the words that we're using. Words help our brain understand. Our brain needs words. But I think that sometimes we can just overthink the definitions of things and forget about the quality of work that we're providing. So that's my 2 cents. I'll get off my soapbox now.
Thank you.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, someone in this group many moons ago said, if you're getting the message, does the method matter? It does not. It's important to understand. I love understanding the history of things. I love understanding why things are the way they are. It's very much my Virgo nature. If you can't tell that I'm a Virgo by the wall decorated behind me, I appreciate the words, but at the same time, it's deliver the message, just deliver it. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay. So Travis, we have a question about Arthur Friendly that went just to me. And then I would love for you to take just a couple moments and kind of talk about what you do. Like here's the things that I offer, because I do think it's so important for everybody to know that. You guys can find Travis if you like go away today and you can't remember where to find him. You can also come back to the partner page on awkwardlyzen.com and Travis is there. Yay. So Travis, one of the questions is Arthur Findlay the only training to take, or can it be through another medium training resource?
That's a great question. I would say, just vet or just check out who you're working with. For some people, I personally love Arthur Findlay College. I'm going to tell you why. They're old school spiritualists. And to me, it's kind of like, when someone goes to art school and you learn how to paint the fruit bowl, but really you want to do the other cool stuff. Arthur Findlay's College to me is like the fruit bowl. It's like the basics, right? And I think that getting that solid foundation for any medium is really important. Is it necessary? No. I mean, because you've got to think back when we were connecting. We've been connecting with spirit since the dawn of time, right? So they didn't have schools or colleges then. They would meditate, they'd receive, so I think Arthur Findlay is good if you are looking for a very specific structure. Now, I will say it's a spiritualist college, so spiritualism is very heavy in the evidence. So if that's your jam, it can be helpful. Absolutely. There's also a great book called Between Two Worlds by Janet Nahovec that I highly recommend for anyone who is studying mediumship, specifically for evidential mediumship or connecting to loved ones in spirit. Again, that's Between Two Worlds by Janet Nahovec. So spiritualists, though, they're pretty strict in their mediumship and what it looks like, and it can be a little bit rigid. So just know that. I say if you go in with that mindset, understanding, you might hear some things, you agree with, you don't. That's all right. It's always important to learn, and I love hearing those perspectives. And the mediums at Arthur Findlay College, they're old school mediums. So just know that before going in. Can you study with other mediums? Absolutely. If you like someone's energy, if you feel like you're working with them and you're getting what you need out of them and you're expanding and growing, great.
Yeah. And Travis, you mentioned at the beginning that you worked with some of our Awkwardly Zen partners when you were first getting started. So could you just share a little bit about
Lori Hewitt and Charles Cox are two of my most favorite humans. And they're both amazing mentors. If you're looking for someone to study with, who's very kind, who, they're very patient with you. I love Lori for not strangling me some days. So, there's Lori. Hi, Lori. You look lovely today. I love that shade of lavender on you. It's beautiful.
Thank you. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for the kind words.
Yeah. So I do recommend and again, I understand sometimes mentorship, it's not always accessible or affordable, but if you do have the funds or the ability to, and you are looking at studying, mediumship before working with clients, or maybe you're already working with clients and you just want some refinement in what you do, Lori and Charles are both amazing teachers.
And so are you.
Well, thanks. That's not something that I offer, but I do love doing classes. So
love that. And so talking about those classes, talking about where to find you, how to find you, all of those things. Can you just give a quick like rundown in this next minute before I go through all the stuff?
So the snip feed page that Ari linked is going to be the best place to kind of find me and find my offerings. I work mediumistically and also psychically, so I offer some different offerings on my website. You can check those out. But yeah, and then of course, if you and I also offer some classes here and there. A lot of them are on usually it's an abundance workshop that I'll offer about once a month. I don't really have like a set time as to when that is, just whenever I post it. So if you're interested in hearing about classes that I have coming up or different offerings, you are welcome to go to my snip feed page that Ari linked. And then at the bottom, you can just join my mailing list. That's a great way to find me, or just, follow me on Instagram. That's also a great place to find me. And if you subscribe to my Instagram page for $5 a month, you get behind the scenes content as well as $10 off any class or event that I do. So you can just go to Instagram, hit subscribe, $5 a month, you get $10 off my classes. So it's another way to keep in touch.
Love that. And the other discount we're offering right now to AZ people who came to this event is that coupon code for the 11/11 event. So just a real quick rundown for you guys. If you go to awkwardlyzen.com, you can go to the 11/11 weekend. It's up in the main menu and see what we're offering that weekend. This is a great time to, if you want to travel and you're capable of doing it, come out to Denver, meet so many of us, participate with us. So many of the people who you know and love and see all the time in Awkwardly Zen will be here, including Travis.
Can I share really quick about the nighttime event?
Yes,
what that's going to look like?
Yes.
So that's going to be platform mediumship. So we are going to have so many amazing people there in the class, and so or in the crowd. And so that evening is going to be platform mediumship, where I'll just be connecting to loved ones and going to people in the audience and sharing messages. And obviously not everyone would get a reading, but there's amazing messages that can be shared from spirit and the power of spirit coming through that room. So if you've never been to a platform mediumship event, they're so fun. I love them. I go to them just to see my favorite mediums work, and they're great. So highly recommend.
Absolutely. And it is so fun to participate in that with Travis. And even if you don't get a message, you will get benefit from the messages that are coming out, which you guys, if you're ever in a group setting, that's the case all the time. So just keep that in mind. So we've got a whole weekend of events that weekend. Now, if you cannot come, we understand that's hard. Some people aren't going to be able to make that happen, create that abundance. Let's just add that in. However, we also will do some online stuff with the 11/11 weekend. We are not there yet, so give us time while we get all of this stuff figured out. Other stuff going on in Awkwardly Zen right now, you guys, there are so many events that are getting posted still for this month. I think the last count I was at was 42 events that we are doing in the month of September, both in person and online. So check out all of those things. Go to awkwardlyzen.com. Go check out Travis's page. Check out the partners page. You guys, there's so many amazing things. And Travis does an amazing podcast as well. What's the name of your podcast, Travis?
Psychic Happy Hour, and you can listen to it anywhere where you download podcasts. And Ari was actually on an episode a few episodes ago, so check it out.
Yes, and it was so much fun to do. So go check that out, you guys. Thank you so much for your energy today, for your love, for sticking around with everything. Travis, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Jillian, for having our back. Have a fabulous day, you all, and we will see you next time.